Hello, my name's John. These are the Necromunda Spyre Hunters, and you're watching War Games, Models and Other Hobbies. Hello and welcome back to another video. This week I am making Necromunda Spyre Hunters and testing out my various camera setups. Today we will be making the Orrus Spyre Hunter, as well as testing out a secondary camera, which you'll see in one of the corners of the screen every so often, or through the whole video, just to show you close-ups of what I'm doing. Gonna stick with my standard top-down camera as well, just so you can see everything that's going on all the time. So, as I said, we're going to be working on the Orrus Spyre Hunter today. This is the one that comes from the Hive Secundus box set. There are two Spyre Hunters on this, and they have the options of all of the weapons that you can get for the Orrus Spyre Hunter, including the new claws. Let's do it on this camera here. It's just there. The new claws that look very reminiscent of some artwork that was produced back in the 90s. I'll put it up on the screen. But today I'm not going to use those. I'm going to go with the power fists, and I'm going to make a standard loadout for, well, not a standard, a traditional loadout for this Orrus Spyre Hunter. So the power fists, the bolt launchers, and so on. So I'm going to get started. Like with the other videos, I'm probably going to waffle on as I do this. So the first thing that I need to do is find parts 3 and 4, which are... okay, I cannot see those anywhere. No, the numbers are really close on this one, so I thought I was looking at a different number when in fact I was looking at the correct one. So there is part 4. So part 3 okay, there we go. So normally I have a good look at the sprues before I start making, but I haven't actually had a lot of time looking at these ones. So let's tidy this up slightly. So yeah, although there's 2 Spyre Hunters on this sprue, for now I'm only going to make one of the Orrus Hunters. I'm still working out whether or not to include them in my Spyre Hunter gang, because they are very pricey when it comes to the credit value. So it's something that I'm going to have to kind of work out. You can't include all of the Spyre Hunters in an initial gang for the points. You could probably do it if you're doing a skirmish game and you have more points to work with, but initially it's not really going to happen in a normal game. Right, how does this go in? Okay, let's have... okay, it goes that way around. So looking at this kit for the Orrus Hunter, as with many of the kits, it looks like the augmentation that these nobles have had kind of, well, they've lost their feet, so they do get chopped up slightly to fit into these suits. Not necessarily something that you'd kind of necessarily want. Well, I'm trying to just get it in focus on that close-up camera as well. What I'm going to quickly do is just shift the cameras a little bit so we get a better view. There we go. Okay, so Now I'm looking for part 7. So yeah, I'm trying out all these different cameras and different angles and things like that to improve the videos that I produce. I might not do the 2 cameras in every video, but it's one of those things that it might work for certain videos. I've got to work out the exact kind of location that I can put them in. Does that go in? Was that way around? I'm trying to have a look on the instructions. They're not as... Okay, no, there's 2 bits that cover the foot at the same time. Okay. So they sit like that. Let me just move those out the way of the background of the second camera. There we go. And then I'm looking for part 6 for the back. I think the key thing with this kit compared to the other Spyre Hunters is this is going to take, I think, longer than the 16 minutes that the other ones have taken, mainly because the number of parts. It is the kind of, I'd call it the hero model in this setup. It's kind of, they've really gone for it in the detail and everything of the Orrus Hunter compared, well, the other ones are really detailed, but the number of parts and that kind of thing really jumps out at you with this one. But it's the one you get with the main box set, so I can see why they'd go a little bit further. Oh, missed a little bit of sprue there, cutting it out, so I'll have to do that. Let me, just going to turn this camera a bit, there we go. I'll let that dry before doing anything to it. So let's go for part 5. There we go, there's part 5. Just remember to clean this up before putting it in. Right. Is that the other way around? No, that is that way around. Okay, that fits on like that. Okay, just going to adjust this top camera a little bit. Zoom in a bit. That's better. Okay, so let me see if I can clean up this back section. Now I'm talking about the cameras, finding this one a little bit in the way, so I'm going to have to reconsider where that goes for future videos if I do use this. So now I've done that, let's go on to the next leg. So I'm looking for 9 and 8. These are going to be a bit easier to find and put together. Now I know how to do them. Now the thing is with these kinds of kits, I find until I've put one together, I find it quite tricky to do any converting on them without seeing how all the components go together and that kind of thing. But then once I've done that, I can kind of work out how I can convert it like this, convert it like that. But it does cost a lot of money, which is a bit of a pain. Don't know what I'm talking about at the moment, just rambling. It is really raining outside now. Don't know if you can hear it on camera. But it's that time of year. Okay, that goes Okay, that fits in like that. Now I don't know how the second camera's kind of doing. To be honest, for a moment there I'd forgotten exactly that it was there. Oops. Okay, so there we have that one. So I'm now looking for part 12, which is this one. So what I'm probably going to do, similarly with the other Spyre Hunters, is once I've got the main body done, I will put it onto a base. Okay, which way around does that look? So that's the front. Okay, so how the hell does this one go? Okay, there we go. I was looking at the instructions then, I couldn't work it out at all. So I find the instructions nowadays, some of them are really good, some of them are really clear, and then other ones, they're just never, they seem to kind of, the angle they go at, just a bit of a pain, but hey, that's just me rambling about that. Oh, there's 11. Excuse me. Make sure I clean this up before. Okay. So depending on how long this takes. Oh, which way around does that go? Does it go that way? Yeah, it does. Oh, we have annoying fiddly bits. Okay, no, that's okay. So that's part 10. Well, this one is, if you enjoy hunting for parts on sprues, you're going to enjoy the Orrus sprue. So, okay, yeah, I've completely, so 11 was there. I'm sure people who have made this kit now are, there we go. Looking at the camera going, it's there, it's over there. No. The one thing I do really enjoy with the videos I produce is the more real-time making videos. I find that it gives a much more realistic sense of how long these models take to make. Often I find you go onto a YouTube channel or video and you'll watch something and they'll jump between them, creating kind of a much quicker video that you don't really get a sense of how long it takes to make. And I personally quite like to give you guys a bit more of a realistic view. And while I'm doing this, I have had an idea that I'll try for the next video with the second camera, rather than having it just looking as it is now. I might go for having a sprue cam, so it's just looking at the sprue for when I trim bits off. Okay, this is one, and there we go, 2. I was looking for the wrong shape of part then. Yeah, so we have a sprue cam, so it sees the sprue getting cut off, and then we have a main cam, which can watch the model be built. Well, I suppose it grows. I'm waffling again, sorry guys. I do quite, said it in previous videos, I quite like the whole kind of process of making something and just generally chatting. If you have any questions that you want me to answer in these videos, chuck it in the comments, and then hopefully, depending on when I make the videos and they get released, be able to answer them in quite a relevant time. Right, so I'm now looking for parts 13 and 14. So looking at the time, the amount of time it's taken me to put the body together and the legs, haven't even stuck them all together, is a similar amount of time as it takes to make a whole other Spire Hunter. So the Orrus Hunters are, I think I said at the beginning of the video, a little bit more involved. Right, where do these tubes go? So, okay. I'm aware that my hand's just in front of the other camera. Yeah, I'm going to try sprue cam next time round. And we'll see how that goes. It's chances are I'll leave this camera just in the corner of little bits. Okay. Okay. So now looking for, there is 15. But yeah, if you've got any ideas or comments about cameras, let's zoom this out a little bit. Let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, put it in the comments. I always appreciate constructive comments. Right, looking at that bit doesn't. Not sure if that bit is a bit of sprue or let's have a look, put it on and have a look. I think it's just a bit of sprue. Yeah, that looks like a bit of sprue. Oh no, it's not a bit of, it is part of the model. Just saw it in a later piece. Let me show you on this camera if it focuses in. So you got 3 bits on the bottom. I thought it was the third one was not a part of the model, but it actually is. So I won't cut that off. Okay, and that. So the one thing I would say about the Hunt Master, the leader of the Spire gangs, which is a bit of a shame, is they don't get access, from what I've seen so far, to any of the Orrus suit weapons, which I think is a bit of a shame, because being the leader of the gang of Spire Hunters, it'd be quite cool to have that as an option. But hey ho, they're still a massively overpowered unit, which is an interesting way of playing the game. Where does that go to? I'm sure I had that then. There we go. So it's now asking for part 22. Something I often do is I'll start sticking these things together, but I won't pay If I just stuck the wrong side on, it's okay. Let's get part 22 off. I think I've stuck them on in the wrong order. Let's hope that doesn't cause an issue. And I saw 22 a second ago, and now I can't see. Is it 22? Yeah, it is 22. Oh, that's 49. There's one that looks like, there it is. Sorry if everything's happening off camera in this video. It's yeah, I have stuck a bit on in the wrong order. Let's, should be okay though. Let's put this leg on. No, I don't know if that's... Oh, I don't think that is... I think that is part of the sprue. Trim it off later. The bit I'm talking about is that bit just there. That's okay though, because the bit that I thought that had to be stuck on after can go on. There we go. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. It doesn't interrupt the parts. Okay. I mean, that's a nice thing. They don't need a base to stand up. Right. What I'm going to do briefly, I'm going to have a quick break and go and do a few things, let the glue dry properly, and then for you it's going to be a few seconds, for me it's going to be a little bit of time, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so it's only been a few minutes for me. What I've done is I've moved the cameras around. So the second cam, I'm now trying out sprue cam as is, so we'll see how that goes and whether it's any different. Right, what I'm going to do while this has been drying, I'm going to get rid of that little bit inside. There we go, the piece there. And what I'll probably find quite quickly is that is needed, but hey, never mind. And now I've got movement in my hand here, which is quite nice. So, okay, let's have a look. Next thing, we are looking at the weapons. So I am looking for, I want the power fists, so I need part 25 and part 26. So looking at this, part 25, there is 25. Should be using my clippers for this, but I'm just ploughing it into it with my scalpel, which I still haven't replaced the blade for. 26. So I'm trying to make sure sprue cam has that sprue in view. Okay, gotta make sure that I come into the other camera to do all the things you have to remember when you're making a video. And you don't want it to look, well, to be honest, I don't mind what it looks like. I'm getting used to this, I'm playing around, I'm learning as I go. Right, so there's that one, and I'm looking for part 23 is the arm. There's 23, I saw it earlier. No, let's use the clippers, don't force down there. So if I like the look of sprue cam, I might play around with it ready for the next video. Which way round is this? Oh, little bits keep dropping out my hands. Okay, I'm trying to identify where these parts go. It is that way around. Okay, that makes, okay. Yeah, so you try and identify recognizable parts, and in my head I'm thinking, well, I'm making a human character, so I'm going to look for bits of the body that'll help me locate it. But the Spyre Hunters have had most of their bits of the bodies chopped off and moved around the place. So, okay, so this one then goes. Okay, I'm going to let that arm just dry a little bit. Let's do the next one. So, $32. Yeah, please throw in your comments about, I know I keep saying about the cameras, but it's appreciated to get ideas for this kind of thing. Also, if you want to, drop a like and subscribe. It's always appreciated. I kind of get to know if what I'm producing is hitting the mark and people are enjoying the content. I think it's the same for most channels, that you find out that you've got about, I think I currently have 80% of the people who watch the videos just happen to find them and watch some of the video, and then the rest of the viewers are only the subscribers. And I suppose the other thing that I never say is put the little bell on if you want notifications for when my video has been released, and then as a subscriber you will see when they've been released. Oh, that finger was not dry. I'm going to put a bit more glue in there. And then this is, yeah, the second time around it's always easier to locate where bits are going to go. Okay, what we'll do, let me just adjust sprue cam slightly. So it's actually looking a bit better at the sprue. Right, okay. Let me get these power fists in place. Right. Okay, that's going to go in like that. Helps if I do it in shot, doesn't it? I apologise for when I start putting things off camera as I start working on them. I think that goes there. Yeah, that must go there because it's fitting there. Right. It is a bit close to. That's straight. In the oh no. Oh. Oh no. I just need to glue it in the right place. I'm gonna say in the instructions it looks like it's not touching the leg, and every time I moved it round it was touching the leg with the aid of gravity, so just make sure that. So what I want is the bolt launcher, so I'm looking for 27. There is 27. So the bolt launcher is the traditional weapon from the original Spyre Hunters back in the 90s. But now you have the option of a few others, but I want this one to be traditional. The thing that does interest me about the Spyre Hunters, something that just popped into my head as I was putting this together, is see how secretive they must be, the noble houses, to have them. Because if this kit is so good, why doesn't the rest of the Imperium use it for the Imperial Guard or something like that? Or if it was found out, would the, I mean, who's on the, I think Imperial Fists have Necromunda as a tithe world to collect recruits. Would they all get a little bit worried that you have these nobles with access to this powerful weaponry? Be interesting to see what a like how a Space Marine would fare up against a Spyre Hunter. Or are the suits derived from Adeptus Astartes technology? Is it stolen technology? What are your thoughts on where the Spyre Hunter kit comes from? Is it Xenos based, or is it technology that's been stolen from other areas? I mean, because I'm surprised like the Inquisition doesn't use this kind of kit. Okay, heads. I have the option of 4 different heads, so I know which one I want to go for. I'm going to go for that one because it looks like my favourite one from back in the day. Okay, so it's going to go with that one with the multi-eyes. And that's another thing with my videos. Do you prefer the videos where I just show you how to do something, or do you like these videos when I'm just generally rambling on while I'm making stuff? Is this the kind of video that while you're doing your hobby you throw on in the background and you've just got some bloke in the corner of the room chatting away while you're doing your hobby? I'd be intrigued to know. Okay, so I want 17 and 16, which are just there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna adjust where sprue cam is for the next video, just so it gives a slightly more interesting angle. But like I said with these videos, I'm testing out my cameras. It's easier to test them with making content and then posting it and having a look at what's successful and what's not. Okay, so where does that really, have I picked up the wrong one? Always pay attention. Wow. My dodgy thumb is kicking in today. So this thumb, you'll notice there's a little bit of a divot in there. That was when I nearly cut it off with a table saw. That's another story though. But it doesn't always work properly since then. So you can see it's not too bad in comparison, but there is a scar that goes all the way around. So that's not hobby related whatsoever, that's just me rambling. Okay, so here we have that Spyre Hunter so far. So we've now got the power cores on that. So on all the other Spyre Hunters they have diddy little ones. On the Orrus Hunters they have massive chunky ones. So I need 18 and 19, so that's 18, and there's the option with these of having them bare or putting the cowling over the top. So I think I'm going to go with the cowling on these ones, and I've lost track of what I was doing. So that's 18, I'm looking for 19. There's 19. I was looking at 19 and in my head I was going, oh, that's 61. Right, so that's 19. Helps if I do it on camera, apologies guys. That's 19, that's 18. So I now want 20 goes on 18 and 21 goes on 19. So 20 will go on there and 21 will go on there. Okay, let's tidy these bits up. It probably doesn't matter which of these I use on each one, but just in case, I'll make sure. How the hell's it even? Oh, there we go. It's actually got a bit to stick it into. I don't think it would matter which way round you stick these, but just in case. And as I go, I'm going to stick them in place. Okay. Alright, looks like the rain's easing up outside. So I'm trying to film my videos in advance of when they come out. So it is September, but it is currently a rainy Sunday morning. So these Spyre Hunters are quite a way in advance. Well, I say that at 2 weeks in advance, but it gives me time to edit and process them. So that's it. Right, let's get a base. Sorry, sprue cam, I just moved the sprue. Okay, so these are monsters in comparison to the other Spyre Hunters. We'll do a little comparison once I've stuck this down. I do like the extra thin Tamiya glue. It does make this process far more, well, it's far easier. Okay, so let's just bring the other ones in so we can see a quick size comparison. So there we have this Orrus Spyre Hunter, and then we'll compare it to the first one I did this week, the Yeld. You can see it is a monster in comparison. And then we have the Malcadon, and then the Jakara. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video and the other ones. If you haven't seen them, go and have a look in my video list, you'll see them in there. And join me tomorrow for the last in this series of making a Spire Hunter each day. But for now, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. My name's John, and you've been watching War Games, Models and Other Hobbies.